Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from Buzzfeed that was published on November 24th. Written by Tom Phillips from the Buzzfeed staff and James Ball, a Buzzfeed special correspondent. Now, this goes to show that they're really desperate to try to push the whole Russia influence social media bullshit. Because it's failing. And they need to produce more accounts and go, look, because they've got less than 200 accounts. I believe it's still less than 200 with the accounts that Buzzfeed supposedly found here. Excuse me. And they're trying to make it sound like this is a big problem. Twitter has suspended another 45 suspected propaganda accounts after they were flagged by BuzzFeed News. Now, I love their particular choice of words here. Okay, they can't say fake news. They can't say anything, okay, like that, because then it calls into question what these accounts are putting out there. And what these accounts are putting out there, which they have pictures of the tweets, okay, is factual information. Now, facts can be propaganda. That's that is a fact itself. Besides lies, so propaganda is just information that promotes or pushes an idea or an ideology for all intents and purposes. So they don't want to admit that this information is true, so they're just going to label it propaganda. The social media giant is facing serious questions over its efforts to deal with fake propaganda accounts after BuzzFeed News uncovered a network directly connected to the Russia-linked accounts Twitter submitted to Congress. Now, no, there's absolutely no proof, okay, that these are fake accounts, that they're propaganda accounts, or anything like that. There's absolutely no proof of this, except for the fact that BuzzFeed's going, yeah, even though we're fake news, just trust us. That's literally what we're talking about here, because Tom and James, okay, are propagandists themselves. They're leftist propagandists, and they're pushing an agenda here. So they want to talk about propaganda, okay? These two little millennial weasels are propagandists pushing propaganda. Because that's what this is. Except the difference is, what was those accounts were tweeting was factual. What they're pushing is fallacy. It's fiction. It's a lie. BuzzFeed News has uncovered a new network of suspected Twitter propaganda accounts sharing messages about Brexit, Donald Trump, and Angela Merkel that have close connections to the Russian-linked bot accounts identified by the social media platform in its evidence to the U.S. Congress. Now, here's the thing. They didn't even present any evidence. All they did was they basically said, yep, these accounts are Russian. And the reason why, all right, it said, yeah, we found these Russians. And the reason why they did that is because people like these two propagandists, that are pushing the leftist ideology and pushing the false Russian narrative, okay, them and, the people on the left on the notice, say the Democrats in Congress and in the media, other media outlets, they're pushing this Russian narrative. So they pressured, because they were making these baseless claims and dragging companies dragging companies through the mud. Which, to me, Twitter could be dragged through the mud and I could care less. Same with Facebook. But it got them scared, so they went and looking for the boogeyman, and they found these accounts that weren't pushing the left's BS, and they went, oh, they're dormant, Russian. No proof, none whatsoever. I mean, you would think if they wanted to show proof, they could go, oh, look at these IP addresses. Russian. If they came from Russian IPs. Be real easy. So they don't even have any proof, any forensic evidence that they're actually Russian. It's just the fact of, oh, they tweeted stuff that was critical of Hillary Clinton. Oh, they tweeted stuff that was actually factual. that went against our girl on the left. Oh, got to be Russian. And what happened here with Buzzfeed is no different. They did the same exact thing. Because look, if you're pro-Brexit, pro-Donald Trump, and anti-Angela Merkel, you might be a Russian bot. I mean, we should literally take Jeff Foxworthy's "You might be a redneck" and just change it to "You might be a Russian bot." If you've ever tweeted anything positive about Brexit, you might be a Russian bot. If you've ever tweeted anything positive about Donald Trump, you might be a Russian bot. I mean, this is literally the mentality that's going on here. The 45 suspect accounts were uncovered through basic analysis of those that interacted or retweeted accounts cited by Twitter to Congress, yet none of them appeared on the company's list. So, wait a minute. By your logic, BuzzFeed, where people in the Trump, somewhere in the Trump hierarchy, whether it's in the campaign or in the family, retweeted those accounts, you're going to try to say that they're Russian and that they're bots? Or anything like that? No, of course not. But yet that's what you're doing with these 45 accounts. Because you're trying to find Russians anywhere you can. And you think you may have, just to push this BS. And you haven't. I would put money that those accounts most likely are not Russian. The relative ease of discovery raises serious questions as to just how many Russian-linked bots may still be active on Twitter, how the company identifies and removes such accounts, and whether its process for identifying accounts for its evidence was inadequate. Well, first off, literally what you did is you went around saying, "Oh, they retweeted this, got to be a Russian." Those were your standards. You've basically admitted that in this article at this point. Your standards were, okay, well, they retweeted this, they interacted with this account, well, that account is supposedly Russian, so therefore they must be Russian. That is literally the logic you used, which I use the term logic very loosely because there was absolutely no logic in that, to surmise that these 45 accounts were Russian. So you have nothing. Yet you're trying to make it into something. And considering there's like under 200 bots on Twitter that are quote-unquote Russian, and I believe it's still under 200 with these 45 you found, if they really were Russian, this is not a problem. Jesus, this is so pathetic here. I mean, your ease of discovery is like just putting a bunch of Twitter account names on a cork board, okay? Handing darts to your limp-wristed millennial male, your two limp-wristed millennial males here, and you let them choose. Okay, your low-T soy boy here. Soy boy crowd. Until BuzzFeed News approached Twitter on Tuesday afternoon with details of the accounts, they all remained active on the platform, though dormant. But within 24 hours, all 45 had been suspended. So, literally, what they're basically just admitting here. What we did is we went, looked for anything that was pro-Brexit, pro-Trump, anti-Angela Merkel, and if the account was dormant, we called it Russian. Well, here's the thing on that one, which makes absolutely no sense. People say get onto a platform for, say, the election, which you had a lot of people join social media just for the presidential election. And a lot of them got off social media after. Why can't these accounts be like that? Or people who got sick of Twitter and moved on. I mean, you look at Twitter's numbers, they're pathetic. They're not growing. They're stagnating and dying. Because of the leftist ideologies and the things that you're pushing on the company and what they're pushing on themselves. So, ooh, look at us. We got 45 accounts that we said were Russian, that because we say they're Russian, they have to be Russian. We got them suspended in 24 hours. Pat yourselves on the back, you two little millennial soy boys. You big, tough, manly men. You beat up some dormant accounts. The network of propaganda accounts was identified using a database of 17 million Brexit-related tweets collected by the University of Sheffield. So a bunch of leftists at an English university who are anti-Brexit collected a bunch of pro-Brexit tweets. And they're proof. They're your additional proof that these accounts are Russian. Oh my God, this is fucking hilarious. This is seriously hilarious. And I love how you keep using the term propaganda, because you can't say that they were promoting fake news, because you're actually showing their tweets in this article. And the tweets are factually correct. So because it goes against your ideology, your fallacies. It's propaganda. They tweeted predominantly in German and were primarily focused on jumping on German hashtag games and other trending topics, often inserting negative messages about the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. So you didn't think that maybe they could just be woke Germans, that have been red-pilled to the globalism is bad and the trucks of peace, driving through their streets, scaring the ever-loving hell out of them and waking them the hell up? Did you ever think about that? Maybe that's why they were critical of Angela Merkel, because they didn't want their country turned into an Islamic terroristic shithole. Ooh, could that be just beyond your concepts of, thought? Because it could very well be reality, more so than the crap that you're pushing. However, 20 of the accounts also tweeted about Trump and 21 about Brexit, with a huge spike of activity on the day of the referendum, 23rd June 2016. The tweets about Trump and Brexit were often the only ones the accounts posted in English. Well, because, oh my God, they were messages about something happening in two English-speaking countries. And you still haven't proved these are Russian. These could just be Germans who, oh my God, again, gotta do, just to stress it, well, who could have just been, woke and not the browbeaten, indoctrinated into the BS that they are because of, the German guilt, leftist crap. I mean, come on now. Heaven forbid, you might actually have a German that thinks like that. I know they're few and far between, but it's possible. And yet you're trying to label them Russian. Because there's no proof. This sounds more like a German than it does a Russian. This is friggin' hilarious. Damien Collins, 666, the Conservative chair of the UK Parliament's Culture, Media and Sport Committee, which is holding an inquiry into fake news and online propaganda, said the findings showed the information handed over by the social media platform so far was only the tip of a very large iceberg. No, less than 200 accounts, even less on the note of Brexit. Okay, because those were lumped in with the 200 for the U.S. presidential election. So we're talking a minuscule, tiny little amount for your country. Is not the big tip of not the tip of a very big iceberg. Okay, I got a very good feeling that Damien, the son of Satan here, I got a very good feeling that he was against Brexit. Just a shot in the dark. This Buzzfeed investigation clearly calls into question the evidence that Twitter provided to the U.S. Senate Judiciary and Intelligence Committees and demonstrates that whatever process the company undertook to identify Russian-backed fake accounts was simply not rigorous enough, he said. I think theirs was more rigorous than BuzzFeed, even though they literally pulled those accounts out of their ass and just claimed they were Russian with no proof. BuzzFeed, their standards were if they retweeted if they retweeted what one of these accounts had tweeted. So someone else could have retweeted it, and then they retweeted it, and then they retweeted it, and so on and so on and so on. That's by BuzzFeed standard. All those people are Russian. I'm not making that. I'm not twisting it. Literally, that's what they're saying. If you retweeted that, you're Russian. If you interacted with an account, so let's say I tweeted an account. I didn't know it was a bot, and I'm just giving them that bot for argumentative sake, because I interacted with that account. By their standards, my account would be Russian. That's literally the standards they're using. And this little satanic schmuck Damien is trying to say that it calls into question Twitter's investigation. That goes to show how desperate and pathetically upset they are about people actually, going against what they want, what these entitled leftists and elitists want. It's beautiful. The findings of this report raise serious question about the methodology used. The methodology used. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry I stopped, but that just really got to me because it's hilarious. The findings of this report raise serious questions about the methodology used by Twitter to identify fake content on their platform and how seriously they are taking investigations by governments and parliament around the world. Well, the findings of this report really call into question the methodology of Twitter. Considering the methodology of Buzzfeed was to literally single out dormant accounts that were pro-Trump, pro-Brexit, and anti-Angela Merkel, and claim they're Russian. I'm sorry. That right there makes you look like a moron to say what you just did. Damien. You should have just shut your mouth, man. Seriously, you just made yourself look like one of the world's biggest morons saying that when their standards are a joke for how they found these 45 accounts that they claim are Russian. He added, the technology exists to aid the identification of fake accounts based on their shared characteristics and use of language. Twitter should be deploying this to identify other accounts linked to organizations like the Russian Internet Research Agency. Okay, this is a call for basically to put technology there that's going to label anything they want fake news. That's going to be able to look at a tweet, okay, and say, yeah, let's bury this. Okay, this is about censorship. This is about having anyone who's not pushing the narrative that they want, pushing the ideologies that they want, pushing the BS that they want, the globalism, the open borders, okay? It's a way for them to go after those people and silence them that aren't towing that line, that aren't brainwashed and regurgitating that crap. Okay? And it's to go after anyone that they want. And not only that, with it, but they can, label these people as, say, Russian or whatever, these accounts. Anyone they want, because they can, and it's easier for them to find it. If you tweeted pro-Brexit, oh, you got to be Russian. Oh, that's what this program says. That's what this software says. And the thing is, it's more than just that, okay? They will literally be able to figure out who you are at some point with this type of technology. It's not quite there yet. And that's what they want, because they want to know what you're saying. They want to know who you are. They want to know who the dissidents are. I mean, this is a scary slope. I mean, you got a politician saying that they should be using this. They want a private company to do this crap, because they can get around the legality of it. The existence of a bot network directly connected to the accounts identified by Twitter is also likely to raise concerns among U.S. regulators and members of Congress investigating possible Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. No, because those accounts are not even proven to be Russian or bots. These accounts dormant. So literally they could be a person's account that just decided to say screw, screw you to Twitter. 20 of the 45 suspected bot accounts identified by Buzzfeed News tweeted about Donald Trump a total of 198 times in the summer of 2016 in a mixture of English and German. Wait a minute, didn't you just say that pretty much all of their Trump tweets... Didn't you say that they only tweeted in English when it came to Trump, and that's pretty much what they did, period? Because that's what it kind of sounded like. Now they tweeted in German and English. Keep your facts straight here, guys. These included several tweeting a selection of bizarre memes around supporting Trump because he is gay and aiming to boost the hashtag We're lieben Trump. We love Trump, which is what it translates to English. Now, heaven forbid, this, because, we can't have gay people supporting Trump. Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos, oh God, he destroys that narrative. Well, ask the gays. Real Donald Trump is a gay, but still, it's supposed to be isn't gay, but still we love Trump. I'm guessing that's what it probably should be, or isn't a gay, or even if it says he is gay. Okay, which with that, I would say he is gay. Any which way, okay, it's to troll. They know he's not gay. Look at it. At Real Donald Trump, have you seen the support from Germans? We show it with a tag. We're lieben Trump, which means we love Trump. Oh yeah, that's a freaking bot. Yeah, okay, sure, BuzzFeed. Wow. He's not like hashtag Hitler, we're lieben Trump. Oh my God, a German calls out the narrative that Trump is like Hitler. Oh, gotta be a bot. I mean, these are literally the tweets that they're trying to claim are done by bots. Look at, these are not bot tweets. I'm 100% German girl, and I'm with Real Donald Trump. We're lieben Trump. None of these sound like bots. At Real Donald Trump, Germany loves you, Mr. President. We're lieben Trump. Supportive tweets from Germans that happen to be in English are now Russian bots. This is fucking hilarious. Real Donald Trump, Germany is with you. Hope you are with us. We're lieben Trump. Let's make America great again. Okay, yeah. Oh, gotta be a bot. Hillary Clinton, we are sorry, Hillary. But Germany loves Trump. We're lieben Trump. Oh my God. Someone actually tweeted Hillary that said, look, we're sorry, but we love Trump. Screw you. There got to be a bot. I mean, this is the level that of a standard that BuzzFeed is set to label accounts Russian. This is so freaking pathetic. Oh my God. We're lieben Trump. And how do you think? Does he love Germany? Oh, gotta be a Russian bot. A meme of a bald Trump that said, oh God, yeah. Real Donald Trump, come to Germany and become our Chancellor. Or Chancellor, I'm assuming that's what that would be. We're lieben Trump. Yeah, because they hate Merkel, because heaven forbid someone say they'd rather have Donald Trump than Angela globalist pig Merkel. Oh, they got to be a bot if they're a Russian bot if they do that. This is how pathetically weak they are. Okay, look at this one. Froke Petri, can you tell please, is Real Donald Trump a friend of AFD or is he not? What's the attitude of your party to this person? Asking an honest question. Asking what a party in Germany thinks about Donald Trump. We're lieben Trump, okay, with him having a rainbow flag behind him. Considering was the only real candidate to support gays and lesbians and such, yeah, screw you. I mean, he's the only one that actually openly was talking about with supporting them on like issues and stuff like that, about equality and making sure that their rights are not going to be trampled upon. Okay? But on the same note, he also said he's not going to let others trample upon the rights of those people that aren't them. So, yeah. I mean, he said, look, I'm going to protect all you guys' rights. I'm going to make sure all of you have the same rights. I mean, but just look, because they're pro-Trump. Oh, those got to be Russians, according to Buzzfeed here. The data also showed that, like many of the accounts identified by Twitter to Congress, the newly discovered bots were largely ineffective in skewing public debate. Okay, Buzzfeed, so wait a minute, you're making an issue of this. You are literally trying to make, like, a K-12, no, K2, I'm sorry, why did I say 12? K through 12, maybe. But you're trying to make, like, a K2, Himalayan, a mountain in the Himalayas size, like, issue out of this, okay? And you've got, like, a little pile of dog shit. And you even admit that it's a little pile of dog shit right here. Well, this is absolutely nothing happened here, nothing to see, really. But yeah, it's such an issue. Overall, the accounts achieved very few likes and retweets. Yet, you're making an issue of this. Okay. The most successful message in the sample just got just 15 retweets. Yet, again, you're making an issue of this. Leading one University of Sheffield researcher to refer to the network as a failed experiment. Because maybe it wasn't bots. Maybe these people just created these accounts because of the election cycle. Maybe they left because they were sick of all the politically correct leftist crap on Twitter. I mean, you have no proof that they are bots. I'm going to lean towards maybe more people because those accounts, I mean, those tweets are pretty benign. Oh, wait, they're pro-Trump and you were pro-Hillary. Okay, gotcha. Like other accounts that have been connected with Russian propaganda efforts, the accounts predominantly posted retweets, particularly of one another, with a small sample of original tweets, suggesting a mix of automation with some human control. Have you actually seen how much stuff people retweet? There are accounts out here that do nothing but retweet that are people. Jesus H. Christ. That doesn't mean a damn thing what you're trying to claim here. That has no bearing on whether they are real or Russian, with the fact of how many people are out here just retweeting crap, and they're people just retweet. Instead of, they don't really comment. And if they do, it might be a couple here or there. I mean, there's a lot of that with, like, actual factual humans. Don't see you calling them Russian, though. Just these particular accounts that happen to be dormant. Despite the clear human intervention in creating tweets, such accounts are generally referred to as bots. Yeah, this whole bot thing is their equivalent to the whole Nazi thing, okay, with people. It is. Let's label bot. Russia. Nazi. They don't realize that you can only do that for so long and so many times with different things before people wake up. Okay, people were waking up with the one-shot deal with Nazi before the election. So, yeah, you might want to think about what you're doing here, you two soy boy, like, beta cucks. You're kind of exposing yourself, like, in the bullshit that you spew. And the theories that you're talking about here have no basis in logic or fact. It's kind of funny. Some of the accounts even tweeted messages about the need to cooperate better with Russia, or links to articles casting doubt on why Russia would want to influence international elections. Yeah, because heaven forbid when you're pushing this bullshit Russia narrative, you've got these accounts actually calling you out for it. Heaven friggin' forbid, okay? And maybe we should cooperate better with Russia because they're the ones that are really kicking the crap out of ISIS, right? That have been. They still are compared to the U.S. So it'd probably be a good idea if we want to get rid of Islamic terror to be working with Russia, at least on that note. to maybe be working with Russia because, you know, even though you leftists don't like Putin, who's an elected official, the head of that country, you know, elected by the people, even though you don't like him, he's the leader of that country. So why should that country pay because you don't like Putin? Makes absolutely no sense. The accounts were uncovered through a process of searching the database of more than 17 million Brexit-related tweets sent before the 23rd of June for any tweets from the profiles on the list Twitter supplied by Congress. Still not proof of Russia. Still not. BuzzFeed News then analyzed the tweets and retweeted from the deleted accounts to look for accounts they frequently interacted with. A very simple form of network analysis, and uncovered a number of suspicious accounts with the few followers or retweets outside the network. Oh my God. Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah. Look at, we mapped this. This is 65 degrees of, this is not even 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. This is 65 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. Okay? Oh yeah, look, to get to here to over here. Okay. You gotta go boom, 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 boom. I mean, seriously. 65 degrees of separation. And they think by putting it in this cluster, pardon my language here, this clusterfuck of a diagram, they're going to confuse people away and go, look, oh yeah, all these are linked Russia, 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 Russia. But look at how they're linking this. You've literally got all this. This is how they try to label anything Russian. I mean, anyone with half a brain looking at this, okay? In order to link all of these accounts and claim they're Russian, you have to go, all right, like with this one. All right? Even if we don't count both of these. To say link this one over here to this one over here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total to get over to that other one. And they're literally saying here, BuzzFeed is literally saying that this one over here is related to this one over here, Russian. Okay? The same with these out here, say to over here, or these over here to over here, or this over here to over here. It doesn't matter. They're trying to say that these are all linked Russian accounts. And you literally have one thing here. One link that's supposedly Russian. They don't show exactly what their proof is that this account here is linked to all this Russian crap. It must therefore be a Russian. They give no evidence of this. Just trust us. I mean, literally, okay? These are the pink are the accounts that Congress lists. The yellow are the suspicious accounts, and the blues are other accounts. But you're trying to say they're all Russian. And I love this. The diagram shows the network of retweets that revealed the new suspected bot accounts. Each line represents retweets between accounts. The size of the dots indicate how often they interacted with other accounts in the network. Okay, yeah. Accounts on the list Twitter presented to Congress are in pink. The new suspicious accounts uncovered by BuzzFeed are the orange. That's not exactly orange, it's more yellow, but alright. Accounts that were retweeted by members of the network but are not suspected of being members of themselves are shown in blue. But yet, you don't expect people to read this part right here. You just expect them to look at this. This is like being dishonest propagandists. You're trying to pad and fluff your whole Russian numbers. And you know your readers aren't going to read this down here. You know it. I almost didn't. And I almost bought into your, oh yeah, these are all Russian crap, like what you're claiming. I didn't buy into that they actually are Russian, but that you're trying to claim they are Russian, which you were, because you're being dishonest with that, because you know that people don't read the fine print. They usually just, the captions, they just move on to continue with the article. Most of the resulting network of accounts had very similar tweeting patterns, many tweeting sporadically on the same days before falling silent after a flurry of activity on September 1st. Well, that's because maybe the president, Trump won. So he's president, there's no need. These people might have just got into the whole politics thing, or paying attention. You have no proof that they were Russian. This is barely a circumstantial case here. Several of the accounts identified by Buzzfeed News also appeared to have taken their profile pictures from other users' social media accounts, a common tactic of bots and propaganda accounts. No, that's also people who want anonymity. It's also trolls. Because if you guys are going to go and you're going to pull this crap and try to identify these people and claim they're Russians, if I was one of these trolls, do you honestly think I would want my picture out there? I mean, you're literally using the fact that they didn't use their own picture to claim that they're a bot. How many of them used avatars that weren't, like, say, a picture of another person, just an avatar? I mean, you have no proof. Again, this is barely circumstantial evidence. The pictures were used included those of an Estonian cartographer, a Dutch photographer, a Swedish hardware consultant, and an Estonian shaman. Yeah, still not proof they're Russian. The account's main focus was jumping on to otherwise innocuous hashtags to insert anti-Merkel messages. Oh, heaven forbid German accounts be critical of Herr Führer Merkel. Heaven fucking forbid. "34 of the bots tweeted about Merkel a total of 340 times, often inserting anti-Merkel messages into hashtag games such as WLAN name, Wi-Fi, or Eklik Ebist, I love autumn." Okay, so they were being trolls. And now, I don't know how many Germans are going to look at this, but I'm going to leave this here for a second so that they can actually read the German tweets. I don't know German, so... And if you want to pause it, you can, and I'm going to actually read the caption here. Among the tweets about Merkel are ones saying, "Islam belongs to me." Yeah, that fits with her. It's not... Oh, excuse me. That's not something, that's lies or, propaganda, except for the way that it shows how Merkel really is, if you want to call it propaganda. Turkey and Germany forever. Yeah, because Merkel loves the Islamic dick. If I were Merkel, I would make pro-Merkel propaganda. Well, yeah. That's just trolling. That right there is just freaking trolling. That is trolling at its finest. It triggered these leftists at Buzzfeed. Yes, they already exist. Love autumn. It may be that we get rid of Merkel. This is beautiful trolling. That's trolling at its finest. Love autumn, and maybe when we get rid of Merkel? Come on now, that's good. That's a perfect play off that hashtag. And tweets referencing the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. In the case of... Wait a minute. Okay, so heaven forbid we talk about the TTIP, okay, which is just really scary globalism, bring in world government, allow private corporations and people that the 1/20th of 1% literally running the show type thing here. I mean, like the globalist Bilderbergers. I mean, they would be exempt from this. Like these EU people that are exempt from all the EU taxes and the laws that they're passing. It would be the same exact thing with the TTIP, and it would circumvent the U.S. It would be a way for them to circumvent the U.S. Constitution. So, yeah,
it would be bad for Germany too. So yeah, okay. Heaven forbid that they've got tweets referencing it. And the case of comedian Jan Bomerman, who was prosecuted for insulting Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. I mean, yeah, let's call that out, because why should a German who's in Germany be prosecuted for calling out, you know, the leader of Turkey and make him, you know, look bad? And that's why, you know, this whole context thing. Okay, Turkey and Germany forever. I will put money that was going around when Jan Bomerman, or whatever, however you say his name, was being prosecuted. The otherwise German language accounts also showed a huge spike of activity on the day of the Brexit vote. Data from the University of Sheffield research team shows a big increase in tweets from confirmed Russian bot accounts on 23rd June 2016, though these were overwhelmingly from the German language bots. Still, you have no proof these are bots. You are making baseless claims that these are bots. You've got supposition and complete, you know, pulling stuff out of your ass type things here. No real facts. Okay, and number of tweets. Okay, yeah, heaven forbid they tweet, and you're grouping these all together. So we have 1,200 tweets from all of these accounts, it sounds like. That's not that much. This is ridiculous. This pattern was matched almost exactly by the extra accounts identified by Buzzfeed News, which have shown no interest in Brexit prior to 23rd June, suddenly tweeted English language images, memes relating to the vote with gusto. Well, maybe. See, I love this because they didn't have any interest in Brexit. This is your evidence. This is weak. Of the 45 accounts, 21 put out a total of 370 Brexit-related tweets, all of them on the day of the referendum. Now, Brexit or not, ERF. That's hilarious. They actually believe the scaremongering crap we've been putting out. If we leave the EU, the North Sea will freeze over. That one's good. That's a good meme. Fear me, British, for I am slightly not what you're used to. Oh. Wow. They're all like, these are funny. These are good, okay? They're just upset that these memes are like really, really good. You've got, oh my God. You've got, look, I'll leave this here for a second. Pause it, take a look at them. Some of the accounts occasionally tweet overlap pro-Russia messages. Buzzfeed News identified a now unavailable tweet from _your_lifestyle. One of the accounts Twitter identified to Congress that included a link to a Russian language blog of the same name as the deleted Twitter account, rubbishing the idea that Russia would interfere in Brexit, titled, "Russia does not need Brexit." Oh my God, still no proof. You haven't presented this. You're just making a baseless claim with absolutely no evidence except for what's in Russian here, and you're trying to claim is from this site. You have no, you're not linking to the site. You're not showing this there. This is, oh yeah, look at this was in Russian. This is the translation, and you just gotta believe us. This came from the site. Okay, well, where's the site? Sources, please. I thought as journalists you understood that concept of actual sources. Foreign journalists, analysts, and some politicians are trying with all their right to expose Brexit as Putin's hidden strategy for the collapse of the European Union. Its opening says, translated in English. Oh, it's still messed up, but it is assumed that the destabilization and even disintegration of the EU will become a diplomatic victory for Moscow. The piece continues before rejecting the idea. Several of the new accounts identified by Buzzfeed News also tweeted openly pro-Russia messages. Well, the thing is, Brexit is a good thing for the United States. It's a good thing for Russia. It's a good thing for any sovereign nation. Because globalism bad. I hate to break it to you, but it is. Ursula! Ursula! Sorry. Just Super Troopers just popped in my head with that, seeing the name. Stop terror! Siren Ursula in German. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll move slowly, alright. Well, there for the Germans that are watching this. That's the first one that they're citing for evidence. Here's the second and third. Kalina Boncheva, the lead University of Sheffield researcher, said the new bots were easy to detect, which raises the question of whether they should have been spotted by the social network earlier. You still have no proof that they're bots. You keep making these claims and you have presented absolutely no evidence. None of you have. The new accounts were very similar to each other content-wise, and thus could easily be detected based on the formulaic behavior they had, she said. The tweeting behavior of the live ones was quite random in many ways, with bursty tweeting or what looked very much like a random set of topics and obsession with shallow hashtag games. Still no proof. Boncheva added that the findings from the new data showed much more study was needed of propaganda and bots online, but suggested sometimes the social networks are lagging behind in this. See, they can't even call it fake news anymore because they know people are awake. And when they call something fake news, they go and look at it and they research it and they go, whoa, that ain't fake news. So now they're labeling it propaganda. I mean, it's literally like they were handed a script and said, use these words. Because everyone they've interviewed, propaganda, 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 propaganda. This is quotes from everyone besides them. This is buzzword, like, indoctrinating propaganda, actual propaganda. Okay? And they don't want to say, well, these facts, they make us look bad. They make Hillary look bad. They make the left look bad. They make Merkel look bad. They don't want to admit this, so they can't call it fake news. They can't call it lies, so they got to call it propaganda. It's so hilarious. The intersection of bots, propaganda, and fake news is a key area in need of further investigation, she said. But scientists often lack the much needed data, while the data keepers seem to still lag behind scientists in terms of knowledge and methodological approaches to discovering and analyzing abnormalities in social media data. Really, you're going to try to claim this is scientific. I have not seen 1 ounce of science in this. This is, alright, well wait, you're all leftists, so this, if you guys have consensus these days, that's science. So you looked at these accounts, oh, got to be Russian. Oh, we got consensus, that's science. That's literally what you're doing. Ultimately, Boncheva said the German language botnet appeared something of a failed experiment. They did have what seemed like an anti-Merkel political agenda, but were ultimately not successful in propagating these messages beyond the confines of the limited-owned botnet, she concluded. For me, this German botnet seems like a failed experiment which was quickly abandoned after a few months as it failed to gain traction on Twitter. You still have no proof. I mean, I just don't get this. You've got less than 200 accounts and you're going bots, 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 Russia, 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 Russia. It's ridiculous. The data shows how limited the reach of many of the tweets by the newly discovered bots was. The top 2 tweets, both sharing anti-Muslim sentiment in German, achieved just 15 and 10 retweets respectively, including those from other suspected bots, while the network's tweets averaged just 0.3 retweets and 0.4 likes each. You know, they could just be accounts that didn't gain traction of actual people who got sick of Twitter and said, fuck this, I'm out. I mean, just think back to the second episode of Futurama when Bender gets kicked out of the Moon amusement park. All right. They just got to the point like him where they went, oh, the hell with the beer, the hell with the hookers, the hell with the, and just said, the hell with it. I would believe that more than these are Russians. I mean, you scoured millions of accounts and you found less than 200 supposed Russian bots, Russian troll accounts. The database of Brexit-related tweets also suggests the impact of the bots identified in the list Twitter gave to Congress was limited. Of the 17 million or so tweets collected by researchers in the run-up to the day of the EU vote, only 451 were English-language tweets from accounts on the list, and these were a mixture of pro-Leave and pro-Remain messages, almost all of which were simply tweets of headlines, mainstream news articles. So here you are, you're destroying your narrative even more. Okay, because you're basically saying, yeah, they were contradictory, they had no traction, no influence, but yet they influenced the election. This is what you're saying. Jesus H. Christ, Buzzfeed. You look like morons doing this. When the headlines and the other obviously automated messages are excluded along with retweets, this count drops even further to just 13 original tweets on Brexit from the accounts Twitter identified. Still haven't proved they're bots or Russian. One of which was devoted to attacking a Buzzfeed humor piece, 16 pictures that accurately predict the life in post-Brexit Britain as BuzzFeed's worst and most inaccurate article ever. Oh, did BuzzFeed get upset that they were targeted? You poor little babies. BuzzFeed News contacted Twitter with details of the 45 suspected bot accounts and asked a series of questions on whether the company felt its systems to detect bots were effective, whether it would investigate the accounts, and whether it would update its evidence to Congress if so. So basically what you're doing is you contact them and said, look, either you add these accounts to your whole Russia BS that we pressured you into, or we're going to make you look even shittier than when we threw Sucking Nut under the bus. I mean, this is what I'm getting at. That's the implication here. Despite suspending the 45 accounts after BuzzFeed News asked about them, Twitter declined to respond to any of these specific queries, saying, we've nothing to share on individual accounts. So you're still taking a shot at them. They complied with you, and you're still taking a shot at them. This is funny. This is why the left is eating their own. It's this type of crap. They're on the left with you. They did what you wanted, and you're still taking shots at them. This is funny. The company instead reissued a previous statement on its dealings with investigators. While acknowledging the huge appetite for more transparency into how Twitter fights bots and manipulates networks, the statement said. While acknowledging, okay. Yeah, they acknowledge it, yeah. Due to the nature of these inquiries, we may not always be able to publicly share what we discussed with investigators. Yeah, because you never know. How many of the accounts, and this is a good example of why, how many of the accounts do you think could be real people that you're claiming are Russian? I'm going to say probably, I'm going to go with the over as opposed to the under. I'm going to say the majority are actual people. So they're trying to protect the people, and you're trying to make them look like shit for it. Because that's exactly what they're trying to do, because they know that there's going to be actual people involved with your claims, okay, that you've dragged into it. And there will always be tools or methods we cannot talk about, because doing so would only help bad actors circumvent them. Twitter also sent a lengthy response on its general approach to preventing spam and bots on its network, stating its system catches more than 3.2 million suspicious accounts globally per week. Actually, it actually gets more legit accounts than it does fake accounts, but okay. That it detects and prevents 130,000 accounts per day attempting to manipulate trending topics and noting... Oh, I'm sorry. I have to stop there. They curate trending. They have someone watching it. If something goes up on it that they don't like, see ya. And they're trying to make it sound like, okay, that it detects and prevents 130,000 accounts a day from manipulate trending topics, and noting Russia and other post-Soviet states have been a primary source of automated and spammy content on Twitter for many years. What about India? They have those farms big time. What about China? They have those farms big time. And it's not even for, say, government. It's like, say, commercial, too. Those troll farms. So you're trying to, oh, well, it's just right. It's the former Soviet republics. So that's got to be Russia. And Russia might have a few. So it's got to be Russia. And you're ignoring India and China and all these developing nations that have those environments where they have the tech sector and they need to do something with it, so that they're doing the whole troll bot crap. Yeah. You're conveniently ignoring them. I mean, this is ridiculous. So you have Buzzfeed basically saying, yeah, we found these 45 accounts. They were dormant. We got no proof, but we believe they're Russian. So we're just going to say it's Russia, 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 Russia. Deal with it. I mean, this is ridiculous. So, I mean, I've gone through this well enough. I've broken things down. So I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.